Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to my channel, Daily Evolutions. If you didn't already know, this is a channel where we focus on our holistic development and try to grow spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and just, in every way possible on a daily basis, man. Um, I'm actually feeling happy today. Weather ain't that good. Sorry I didn't drop you guys a video yesterday because it's been rainy, stormy, and as you can see, my spot is it's I'm undercover, but I'm still, outside, subject to the wind and the rain, so didn't want to fuck up, the sound and everything. But I just want to first of all say thank you to all of you for subscribing to the channel, for even taking the time to watch these videos. If you haven't already subscribed and you're new here, please, please, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and comment if you have anything to say, whether that be positive or negative, man. If it's negative, I welcome it. Just make it constructive, man, so I know what to do, like which areas to improve in, and yeah, man, we just keep it moving. You know, as much as I created this channel because I feel like I have something to say, and to share with the world a different perspective. Maybe not, maybe just a perspective that's there, but rather silenced in this new era where we all feel that we have to kind of you know. Tread along the the dominant narrative, man. I'm not really with that. But more importantly, I also the point I'm trying to make is as much as I am trying to share with you guys, I'm also trying to grow by learning from you. And a lot of you are a lot smarter than I am, a lot more talented in many different areas. Um, just and just the fact that you have even if you are not, the fact that you have a different your own unique different mindset means that I can benefit something from you, and I recognize that. Now today's video is going to be very, 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 very short now, and I'm going to title it. I just want, I'm going to title this video, "If They Are Not Building with You, Motivating You, Inspiring You, uh, Pointing You in a Positive Direction, man, they need to go." If you're on the journey of trying to improve yourself daily, and especially if you're trying to consciously move from a space where you were not good in to a space where of fulfillment, of happiness, of spiritual cleansing, if you want to get to that state, man, you're gonna have to cut off a lot of those trying to drain you, trying to manipulate your energy. I'm sure as I say these things, like a lot of you can point to situations in your own life and just make and see where there's a parallel. But yeah, that's what I want to talk about today, man. And this is hot on my mind, man. I took a gym session. This happened a few hours ago, and since this happened, I try to train just to get my thoughts, calm them down a bit, but also just try to align what I have to say in like a concise, nice way, packaged way. And man, sometimes we do almost in the same way that we go through like uh, physical health cleanses, like detoxes, whatever, just trying to get all the toxins out of our body. If we know we just haven't been paying attention to our nutrition, we've been putting in too many, whatever the toxins may be, whether it's sugars, whether it's like lots of oily food, whatever it might be, just bad things that are bad for your body when consumed in, large amounts. We know that we need a detox from that because ultimately carrying on in that same pattern is going to leave us drained, less efficient, and probably eventually dead, just before death, just extremely ill in some way or another. Now, I want to advocate for the same thing in terms of your social life, your emotional well-being, in terms of the settings you put yourself in, but also the people you allow into your social life. This is going to be hard. It really is, and these are often tough decisions because I say they're tough because it's only the people that are super close to you that can actually have any power to even hurt you, right? So most of the time, when you are feeling this way, then it's probably someone who has enough like power over you to even make you feel that way. So it's also gonna make the decision to cut them off like a lot more difficult. It makes sense, right? So I'm not saying by any stretch that this is gonna be easy, but I'm saying that it is necessary, right? Um, and I'm telling you now, I'm testament to the fact that like as soon as I started doing that, like it takes first of all becoming aware of yourself, right? Why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? Am I just am I currently feeling a certain emotion and then just like projecting it outwards, or is the opposite being done? Like am I in a perfect state of just like contentment right now, and then something else externally is being projected on me to make me feel a certain way? Like why is that happening? Where is it coming from? Just all those questions. Why? Where? Like how does this happen each time? And the only way you can find that out is like becoming aware of yourself. Snowy? No. Snowy? No. The only way you can do this, that's my dog, by the way. The only way you can do this is actually becoming hyper aware of yourself, because when you understand your own reactions, you realize that people aren't really that different. And you can kind of, like understand at least having enough information why things are happening in a certain way that they are, you know. Um, so yeah, awareness. That's where I want to start off. Now, I'm chilling with a homie today, like a friend that I haven't seen in a while, dude, we live in the same community, but he's been gone. He's left to go live with his grandparents, say, for the last few months. Now, this is a dude that I spend a lot of my times with, so he's really seen like we've gym together. You know what I mean? Just we both, yeah, man. Over the last year, undergone some difficult times, not together, but like, um, basically, we're both like a shoulder to lean on, back and forth for each other. Um, Now, dude comes back today. It's me. I was super happy to see him. Obviously, it's been a while. I have a lot to share. I have a lot of cultivated energy that I've just, yeah, stored within me. From retaining my theme and retaining my energy, just going within, trying working on my inner child, understand my trigger points, understanding when I'm most happy, when I'm not, just really, really almost studying myself, Most of my life I've been studying it, whatever it's been put out in front of me and not myself. Now, in the process of doing that, yeah, I've just been doing a lot of work on myself and everything while my homie hasn't been around. Now, although he's not been here physically, we have phones, we can connect, I have him on WhatsApp and all, and I've shared my journey, like how I'm feeling on a day to day, just where I'm at generally, and like the new projects I'm excited about. I told him I started a YouTube channel. Didn't really get much response from that except like, yo, well done, dude. Yo, that's dope. My videos have been out. Haven't heard anything about that. But anyway, man, I always thought that me and this dude, like, we have common struggles. I lost my dad like last year. He'd lost his mom a few years ago, also pretty violently. You know, just the stages we're in life right now. Point is, like, I consider him a homie because not only has he been there and like showed me positive energy during tough times, but like we have a common story, so it's not hard for me to show empathy to you when I understand where you're coming from. So yeah, that's just the mm, mm, yeah, the basic, the gist of things. So I see him today after a long time, and you know how it normally goes. You see someone, you want to catch up with them, you want to ask them like, so many questions all at once. Like, how's it been going, man? How's your family, man? Remember the last thing you told me about? How'd that go? Just have a lot of questions to bombard him with, but wasn't really being met with the same like energy. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, man, mine has been like high, like since like morning. So at least you would expect the other person to at least ask you the same things, like, yo, especially knowing like where you were months ago and seeing that there's a visible energetic change within you, a spiritual change. That's how it, yeah, this, we speak about people's spirit, it comes through and shines through their energy, how they, how they're projecting themselves to the world. Um, anyway, all of these things are noticeable, and I know that because like people who don't even know me and like know me the way he does, whether it be my barber, the lady on the street, the the shopkeeper, you know, the neighbors, they all feel that. Um, so anyway, excuse me. I'm expecting this from the home, to be excited for me. Like I have a lot to share. But not once. We were watching a movie too, so at least an hour and a half passed, but not a single question. Like, although he knows exactly what I'm doing, and I know he knows what I'm doing because everything that I've been doing and posting about, although he hasn't been like interacting with that, like he went and did the same thing. Well, if I started a new garden at home, he'll do that shit too. I swear. You know what I mean? If I come up with a new business idea, I share it with him, and a few months later, you'll hear, yo, bro, I'm also doing that. But these things were brought up only when I started to now share, like, hey, man, so, yeah, just share my progress, my achievements. Yo, so I did this. And then each time I noticed that, like, the guy's trying to, like, upstage me, you know what I mean? But it's, like, I don't even understand, like, his logic because it's all stuff that like it's coming from me, my idea. So it's like, yo, do you realize that you sound a little bit dumb at the moment? Like no offense, dog. Well, actually, shit, offense meant, because it doesn't make sense. Like, how you going to you're gonna try and upstage someone, but yet you're admitting that yo, I'm copying whatever you're doing, which is for me, it's I wouldn't mind, I'm sharing my ideas freely and everything, sharing my energy freely, but then the way of capitalizing on it and then pretending like you don't see what the actual guy you're copying is from is doing and progressing, it doesn't really make sense to me. But anyway, so as I share like my journey on semen retention with him, how man, me holding onto my seed has just made me a lot more uh, focused on other things that are not based on fulfilling my sexual desires. If I'm trying to make money uh, and hustle while on the semen retention journey, I have extra energy and I'm using that to, yeah, just be more creative in my hustle, but not necessarily like the mindset that I had before. It's purely for my improvement, whereas before it might have been like, yo, if I can do this and this and this, I'm gonna have this amount of money, and then I can take this girl on a date, or I can, just arrange for the situation to happen. And it always came around like fulfilling some kind of earthly, worldly desire, whether it be just a good time out, whether it be a good time with a girl. Like most of the time, it was that for me. Anyway, so now my inspiration is just not that, and I made that clear, like, yo, bro, because this guy, the first thing, the dude was trying to bring up girls, I left to make us some popcorn, and I left him on my laptop. Dude goes onto Instagram and brings up like an ex, like someone that like hooked up like in the past, and while I'm telling him I'm on the journey that I'm on, I'm not sure if he's doing this on purpose, but like I'm telling him, yo, I'm not really focused like like females or sex, if you want to bring it down to that, like that isn't even like on my mind at this point in time. But what does the homie do, man? Just the whole time, yo, you wouldn't believe, bro. I seen this video of this girl, bro. I saw like a pornographic video of her, bro. Yo, I heard she does this and this and this and this. Yo, look at her Instagram video. Look at this one checking her ass or whatever. Just trying to like plant that seed, like against what it's not. It's something that's somewhat in isolation. You would see it as like, how can I say, not malicious at all. And I didn't see it like that either. It's just that I was like, yo, I was noticing that, yo, listen to what I'm saying, bro. Like, I'm not, yeah, stop trying to bring me back into like that frame of mind. You know what I mean? And as a guy, it's easy to get into that frame of mind. But anyway, as I'm trying to like divert, change the subject, what does it do? The whole time, the whole time, bring up that same conversation. Minutes go by. We let that. I got just let it be. Um, yeah, just trying to get out of the situation. Go and check on the popcorn if I have to. Do whatever I have to. Um, anyway, it goes on. I'm just trying to still speak on like other like positive things, like you know what I mean. Like just yo, do you remember this idea we spoke about before? I've thought of like tackling it in this and this and this way. Or if I'm not talking about something serious like that, it's just like asking him about like, yo, did you see that in the movie? Well, a dude not out of nowhere, like just bring up like human like a random question like, yo, bro, have you ever thought like about how people who traffic humans like for a living, like how do they live with themselves? Yo, I'm like, no, just trying to dismiss the thing. Next topic, like, just insisting, I'm showing it like I'm giving it no energy, but the insistence comes on. The next question is like, uh, did you know that they use this and this and this parts? Did you know that they use like they like to use younger kids and all that? And at this time, like in my house, it's like I have my nephew and my sister like in a room, like not near to us, but you can still hear. And I'm thinking like, what are you trying to do? Why are you even bringing this up? Um, I won't even lie. At a certain point, I'm like, yo, is there an entity like hosting my homie, or perhaps is this, or rather, is my homie hosting an entity within his body, and I'm not even talking to him right now. I'm seeing the physical, but this dude is like a combination of multiple spirits, because this is not. This was obviously something that was going like fighting against my spirit, with the opposite of like I'm trying to push this, and this one is trying to bring up like random dark shit. And like why? And like in my mind, I didn't say anything at the time, but I'm thinking, why are you trying to? Why would you want to bring this up? Um, and my point is just like, I feel like that was a conscious effort to like get me out of that like positive state, because that's if I'm insisting that this is all I want to talk about. If you're gonna bring that up, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna pretend like I haven't even heard you, and you still do that. Like it shows that like that's your point. That's what you're trying to do. But then my question is why? And I try to think about all of that, uh, and I realized like it's not even worth like racking your brain over it, because you know, like ultimately you can't figure out like everyone's motivations. You can have an idea, as to like might be out of certain degree of you can think of any malicious like feelings, whether it be envy, whether it be resentment, you know, uh, yeah, man. There's many things, but I would have to go into that now if I were to like elaborate on that. But you can think for yourself why someone might do that. But that's not important. I realized like because while I was doing that, I was like almost like draining myself, Like while I'm doing that, I'm not focusing on what I'm trying to do, and I realized that that's not important. Let that go. What is important is you maintaining, keeping your energy high, and finding the people that align with that. And that's the point that I wanted to make about this, that I was saying at the beginning. Often when you're on the journey of rising, like ascending a little bit spiritually, you're gonna realize, even if it's not spiritually, even if it's like financially or socially, like within this matrix we live in, you're gonna realize that like the places you used to go to, people you used to speak to, the things you used to watch, man, or even listen to, like it won't feed your soul anymore. In fact, besides not feeding your soul, you might notice stuff like I did today, that maybe these things were a lot of the reasons why I was feeling drained. Maybe that's actually a part of what was actively draining me, but I just being so not aware, wasn't even realizing that at the time. But since we are aware now, we learn on this channel, like we learn and grow daily. Now that we are aware, if you weren't already, now you are of these things. You know what I mean? Um, Things like we are electromagnetic beings. We live in connection with nature around us. Like even snowy God. Um, we we take in electricity from the sun. Even though those rays are not seen, like we get energized. Today the sun's not here, and literally you'll feel a certain type of mood if it's not around. Because those rays, although unseen, are not there to energize you in the same way as I'm just making the point that we are electromagnetic, and that's the electro part with the sun. But the magnetic part is, look at the Earth. The gravitational pull that we cannot see. Gravity, force of gravity, is pulling us down on a daily basis. We're interacting with nature like in those basic ways. But in the same way, we can feel energetic fields. Like everywhere you go on a day to day, we're bouncing off other humans like energetically. And sometimes you don't really have to be able to, and oftentimes you won't be able to find the right words for it, but when something was said a certain way and it made you feel like, this was said with a certain malicious intent behind it, or when something is not necessarily even said, but like it could be left unsaid, but you feel like, whoa, this ain't right, this isn't for me, this is actually pulling me down, draining me, like that shit is all real. Now, as real as that is, the opposite is real too. If you are engaged in things that are making you happy, making Man, your heart skipped a beat. I'm sorry for that analogy, but it's a beautiful song, by the way, I listened to just earlier today. Old South African song. Your heart skips the beat. But if it doesn't make your heart skip the beat, if it doesn't lift up your spirit, man, then you probably are not supposed to be there. And like I said, if it is doing those things, that is where you're at. That is when you're most alive. Now, a lot of, man, if you weren't already aware, a lot of people are aware of this, you know what I mean? And for a long time, I wasn't necessarily aware of these things, but I'll be leaving environments like constantly feeling drained, constantly feeling, anxious, worried about tomorrow. And that's just like projections, that was projections of people who were not trying to build with me, who were not trying to build me up at all, share positive, like, exchange of information, that's another thing while I end this video. The places you're going to put yourself in, the people you surround yourself with, the positions you place yourself in, make sure that as much as you have something to say to the world and share with the world, and if you're like me, you're going to want to do that regardless, it's just, it'll come naturally. Sometimes you're going to have to put conditions on that too, man. Like, legit, as hard as that might be, you need to make sure that most of the transactions that you're getting into, with people, in environments, in energetic exchanges, there needs to be a somewhat equal transfer. Otherwise, man, you're gonna be building other people up. Like, you might feel good for a moment, but when you leave that situation, you'll realize that, like, you didn't really gain anything from that. Those same people who you're building up without them giving you anything in return, will probably come back and use that information to bite you. Use that knowledge, that whatever it is you passed on, and never be grateful for it. So, man, just know that if they are not trying to push you, motivate you, share new perspectives with you, helping your mind grow, if they're trying to actually bring you back to the old you, bro, most of the time those people don't really care about you. They're not for you. Therefore, the feeling you gave them when you were around, the feeling, maybe it might be security, like whatever the feeling might be, it might just be like joy from friendship, all of your life force energy, like being absorbed by them, like might just power them up, and where are you? Drained. So I'm gonna just say, keep your energy high all week, as I said, every day, in fact. But be selective about how you let that out too, because we're not cultivating and building up all of this energy through retention just to let it go like willy nilly. You have to be intentional about everything. That means being intentional about what you do and also what you don't do. Yeah. Sorry, this video is getting long, but yeah, I just had to let that out. But again, to those of you who've actually listened to this all the way to the end, sincerely, thank you. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe, like, or comment, positive or negative. Make it constructive if it's negative, because I want to learn, but give me something I can improve from, practically. And man, yeah, just keep your energy high, and I'll see you in the next video, man. Peace.